And you won't even tell me why. I could never love another after loving you. Why am I singing that song? That's so bizarre. Okay, temptation is on the mind. Hey, welcome to Hi, delightful.
Hello, darling.
Hello. Let's see if I can get a side by side. Yes. No, that's not what I want. Okay, let's see if I can fix this. There we go. Thanks for calling me tonight and on this night of it's an auspicious time for us to talk as sister to sister, goddess to goddess, queen to queen, sister to sister, because this is one of the 9 nights that in the Hindu tradition is celebrating the divine sacred feminine. It's called Navaratri, which is 9 nights of the goddess. And the goddess that are embodying all of the virtues and qualities and aspects and gifts of all that is feminine, all that is divine, all that is woman, is Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. So this is the 6th night of, of 9. And so we're in the time of Lakshmi, who is the goddess of abundance and wealth and beauty and just rich lusciousness. So it's good to honor her tonight with our presence and with our voices and our hearts, even though for me it's a little, I'm not at all jubilant, and I'm not at all lavish or lush or feeling any of those ways. And that's probably when I need her the most, is when I'm really not feeling. So thanks for being with me tonight. I crossed the red thread that connects us to everyone who holds a piece of the red thread and is connected on this soul journey across space and time. So where's yours?
Mine is here.
Okay, so we're connected here.
We are connected.
Yes.
We are connected.
It's really nice to read that.
Anasuya, darling, thank you. And there's so much from you.
Keep it here.
And you're speaking about the goddesses and the luscious, delicious richness. And that is exactly what I think about when I think about you. Oh. And seriously. And so I'm here tonight to support you because I know I encouraged you to do a GoFundMe page because you're meeting a few challenges right now. And I'm here for you and walking with you, okay?
Thank you so much. And it's always good to know that, you know, we say in intentional creativity, the movement where we bring intentionality to everything that we create, whether it's a meal, whether it's a garden, whether it's a collage, whether it's a dance, whether it's lovemaking, whatever we're creating, we do it with the intention to shift something, to heal something, to call forth something, to bring something into being, to birth something. So here I am on this magical red thread that connects us all through space and time. And there you are in Canada, and here I am in the USA. You know, and I'm tugging on this red thread because this is, you know, I'm having a rough time right now. And when I tug on the red thread, it lets me know when someone answers the tug that I'm not alone. So I'm tugging, and I'm so glad you answered.
Yeah. And as I previously mentioned, I know this is a leap. This is a big step for you to reach out, and I feel honored to be here for you. You know, and you and I have connected through IC and spoken about what IC is about and
intentional creativity.
Intentional creativity. I'm in the habit of, you know, our talks, right? But I do understand not everyone may well know what I mean by IC. Excuse me, intentional creativity. Okay. Yes, thank you, because I know that Anasuya, you and I have met through, I was saying IC, and not everyone may well know it. as intentional creativity. And when we're meeting, we're talking about, the projects that we're working on. We're talking about the understanding of intentional creativity. And once in a while, we have our moments where we can be vulnerable with one another. And as I was saying, I know this is challenging. And I want to acknowledge you for showing up, right? And yeah, we've talked about things, but we really haven't spoken about what you always put on such a brave face.
Yes.
You put on a brave face, and I know there are things going on. And today I'm going to be asking, like what's happened? What is going on for you?
Okay, great. Thanks.
You need me to repeat that?
Well, no, I really appreciate that you taking the time to, for this short conversation, because videos are, are better short and sweet and to the point. So, just, I don't know what you're going to ask me, but, maybe 2 or 3 questions, to keep it simple, because people don't have a lot of time. They're curious, but they don't got a lot of time. So we want to just share with them some golden nuggets of, because I don't know what you're going to ask me, but, we'll just honor people's space and time.
Okay. So I just want to ask what happened. I mean, I know that I picked up that you were in an accident, and right now you have some supportive medical supportive gear. Yeah. Yeah. And see, I'm rather polite and not nosy, but tonight I'm going to be nosy.
Yeah, that's totally fine, because probably, most people won't know what happened to me. So I think that's a really fair first question. So, well, the first thing that happened to me is I survived a near fatal car accident, and maybe it's not even fair to say near fatal, because it was fatal. I did die, and I was revived, and so they call that an NDE, near death experience. So I was very close to death. I was in death. I was in that liminal tunnel that people talk so often about, and I had a chance to make a new choice about coming back or not. And so I'm very grateful that my soul said yes to coming back, because that hasn't always been necessarily the desire, because life has not been as crystal clear as Langston Hughes wrote. So there's been times of deep sorrow and despair where I might have given that question, and that choice might have said, no, I'm tired, I'm ready to go. So I'm very grateful that on that fateful night, on January 31st, I chose life. And, there was no promise to me about how things are going to be better, but God did tell me that things were going to be much better this half of my life. And even though I gave no specifics, I just felt so reassured that things were going to be so different. And of course, at that time, I didn't know what kind of body I was returning to. And the body I returned to, quite beaten up and battered and damaged. And so I had a brain injury. I broke my arm in 2 places. I damaged both shoulders and both knees, because my knees got stuck behind the steering wheel, and jammed into the steering wheel. And by driving off the road and flipping the car 3 times, I was like a tennis ball in the dryer. I just hit every corner. And the only thing that stopped me from flying through the windshield was my airbag and the seat belt. So I'm very grateful that technology has allowed such things to protect us from ourselves, and because that was, a crash between me and the world, because there was no one else involved. Thank God. There was no other tree or animal or person or anything, building, nothing else was involved. It was just me and a long stretch of road in the middle of the night falling off. And, at first I thought I had fallen asleep at the wheel, because it was 12:30 at night, according to the police report. It was 12:30 at night. The medical report. The first responders report, there you go, was 12:30 at night when they found me. So I don't know how long I had been there before I was discovered. But, now that I've had visits with the neurologist and the cardiologist, it looks like it was more some kind of brain short circuiting, potentially caused by a hole in my heart that I didn't know I had. And that's something, when it's not monitored, causes aneurysm-like events in your brain where you just go. And they can be fatal. And it can lead to a stroke. It could lead to many things, and it can kill you. And it looks like that's what happened to me on that night, which in some ways is quite a relief than thinking I just fell asleep at the wheel. And I'm just grateful that no one else was involved, because this, what I've been going through, and I just spoke of the outer problems. I didn't speak about all the internal damage to my nervous system and to my tendons and soft tissue and muscles. They all have gotten some kind of tear, disrepair, fracturing, scarring, just so many things that I'm learning about the body. Let's just say that I'm learning a lot about the body and how they're interconnected and how the systems all work together to make us our dynamic selves. And so there's a lot of uncovering of mystery, pains, and the source of it. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey since February 1st to now, which is October, what are we, the 14th?
October 14th.
Thank you. So, it's been a heck of a 9 months, and I was hoping to be 9 months and done and birthed and ready to come out like I'm all new, I'm all put together, Humpty Dumpty, put back together again, and yay, I could go on with my life, like so many people want with COVID. Let's get back to normal. Well, I'm not back to normal yet. The country's not back to normal yet, and that's just the way it goes. I have 2 more surgeries to go, and more exploring of what's going on in my brain. I'm going through a lot of tests at this right now to see what's there and to see what can be prevented from happening again, and that kind of thing. So that's it in a nutshell.
I'm amazed that you're able to speak about that. So how can I put it so clearly? Like I'm hearing it, and that experience to me would be something where for myself, I believe it would be a real breakdown. How are you managing through this? How are you, as I said, you put on such a brave face, and
well, part of it is just being a Black woman. Like when do we have time to fall apart? It's just, we don't have time for it. It's just, and that's how I was raised. It's like, push through. We don't have time. We've got family to save. We've got our people to save. We've got fires to put out. We've got, things to do, and so little time. So that's part of the default programming that just shows up without thought.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm not doing so well. But I am, when I'm in the presence of my sisters, when I'm in the presence of people who bring me light and love, that part of me that is like that does wake up. And so it's not a brave face. That's the part of me that remembers who I am underneath these broken parts, who remembers who I am underneath the pain and the despair, who remembers who I am when it looks like, what is the point of trying to recover? Because I have days when it's like, why am I trying so hard to get better? My life is not great. Why do I want more of this? And there's days when I wonder, why did God, you save me? Why did you bring me back here? Because I don't know if I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm fulfilling that purpose. I know I said yes, but I need some clues. So, there are lots of days I can't get out of bed. There's lots of days, well, I don't want to get out of bed, I should say that, because actually 4 to 5 days a week, I'm in some kind of doctor's appointment or some kind of physical therapy or some kind of occupational therapy or some kind of brain injury rehabilitation. So, I spend almost 30 hours a week in appointments, including transportation time to and fro, because some of the places I'm being sent are, take 30 minutes away or an hour away. So, someone said, it's like a job to get.
I was
It's
just
like
about to say that. I was just about to say that. Like, I understand that you're on a recovery path,
yeah.
but what's happening with work? Like, how are you able to support yourself in doing, like, getting to
Well,
appointments, having those appointments, paying for those services? Because it's very different.
It's been rough. It's been rough. It's well, one, the grace of God just has that expression, a ram in the bush, so God helps me every month to find some way to either, to make it, because every month I have no idea how I'm going to pay my rent. Every month I don't know how I'm going to, pay the phone bill, pay the electric bill, pay whatever bill. It's got to, it has to be paid, because so many days, because of my brain injury and because of the way that it's affected my short-term memory, thank God, not my long-term memory. So all my good files are still there, but having my present tense constantly shaken and stirred and rearranged. I'm like, wait. I know I said I was going to do something. It does feel like Alzheimer's. I'm like, I am too young for Alzheimer's. And then my neurologist says, no, that's just the brain injury working, and these files should come back soon. And I'm like, okay, but it's been 9 months. When do I get them back?
Yeah.
So, so it's been a struggle to, I'm so glad I'm speaking clearly and now, but in those first month or two, my speaking was a little challenged, and my putting my thoughts together in clear sentences was not evident. And okay, this is not the time to forget something. Gosh, talk about it. It has been something to get back to speaking like this, and but it's been hard. I'm very, very, very grateful that my insurance is helping a lot with all the specialists I have to see, between the pulmonologist, the neurologist, the cardiologist, the dermatologist. Oh my God. I just feel like I'm an ologist, my orthopedic surgeon, who's done 3 of my surgeries and is doing the next 2. So it's like, which will make total 6, because the initial surgery in the ER was not done by my surgeon. So I'll come up to a flashing 6 surgeries. And so he blesses me so much. And every time I come in, he says, which part is it today? I said, today is the knee, doc. Today is the shoulder. Today is my arm. So we make light of it, but I'm so grateful that he has been one of my fiercest champions in getting a new life, starting with a new body, one that works. So, but it has been hard to work. I have been able to do some freelance editing and copywriting, which has been such a joy to me, because that was the one thing I didn't want to lose. I'm like, God, you can take my body, but don't take my brain. I love the way I think. I love the way I write. I love the way I edit. I love the things I do at work. So please leave my mind. You can take my body. Okay, leave my right hand so I can write and paint. Right hand, brain. Okay, I'll take that. So I have managed to do some work and do tutoring and helping students have clear thoughts and do critical analysis, and to articulate their thoughts in words on paper so they get their papers right, they pass their exams. So that's been great to get those kind of gigs that are in my lane. It doesn't require a lot of my body and doesn't require a lot of my hand or my brain. because those are old files. So they're not lost or damaged. I can access my old files. And so, I've been doing that, but it hasn't been consistent. And some months have been good and some months have been dreadful, where I've been 20 days late with my rent. And it's just, the stress levels are just through the roof in those months. So, it's catch as catch can. And I've, applied for disability, and I've applied for some grants would help with things. But there's a lot of people applying for the same thing. So I'm on a list that's really long, and they don't promise you when you'll get an answer. And, and it's been 9 months. So maybe it's soon, maybe it's not. But in the meantime, it is a struggle. Everything's a struggle. Everything is hard. And I know I have God's grace. I know I have angels with me. I know I wouldn't be here without God's grace. And with that, I still struggle. I just know it could be worse. So I'm grateful for them.
I know. It's easy to look at things and say, in the position that you're in, and say things could be worse, but the reality is where you're at. And so really.
Yes, and the reality is, well, damn, honestly, it's bad right now. I'm like, well, you got a point there.
Right? So I'm just asking, like, what is it that you need? How is it that we can help you? How is it that we can be there for you?
Well, that is the great question. And that's a good place to wrap up this conversation, because we want to honor people's time. So, one thing I need is support with covering the basics, rent and phone bill and gosh, I'm drawing a blank. What did I say?
Food.
Yeah.
You need that.
Just some basic survival stuff. I'm trying to get that needs. First, Maslow hierarchy of needs. I'm trying to get that first rung taken care of, and then I'll worry about the second one. I'm just on survival things right now because I'm it's God's grace that I'm in the place I'm in. My lease was up in September because I was told at the beginning of the year I should be up and running by September. So I signed a lease. And so right now I don't have a lease. I'm just on a month to month with my landlord. So I'm very grateful she's allowed me to stay until I find someplace else. But I do need to find someplace else. And so I will need, the deposit and all that stuff for a new place, because this is a very expensive state. Whew. And being not from California, I just wasn't ready, even though I lived in New York for 15 years and I know crazy rents, but California, they match in New York. Wow. So, these are unexpected things. I didn't expect to be in California. When I crashed, I was on my way out of the country. I was driving to the airport. So I never lived in California before. So all of this I'm discovering how it works here. And it's a new world. And I'm very grateful that California is hosting me and helping me to heal. And I bless the state of California for just blessing me so much with my rehabilitation. But no, I didn't know what I was getting into when I crashed in California.
Crash in California.
But God did. God knows this is somehow the best place for me to be. And some things have been revealed and other things will be revealed later.
Yeah.
So that's where I could use support in getting that bottom rung of hierarchy of needs met. And then I can start breathing again and healing at a higher level. Because when you're stressed out and worried, it contracts the body and it slows down healing, and it definitely is messing with my sleep, which also would help for my healing if I slept more, and that's not what I'm doing. So yeah, that's it. So, if anyone feels moved to support my journey back to, well, not back to the old me, because I think that's what is supposed to be complete. It's anyone's willing to help me discover and become the me that is coming out, because I'm meeting her for the first time too. So I would love your partnership. And so, thank you gifts will be art, lots of art, lots of art, lots of art for people who, support me. And it's darn it, I don't have any art behind me because of the way I'm sitting. The art's over there, but I will post on this GoFundMe some photos of paintings, so people can get an idea what kind of art could come their way, as a thank you for being there for me when it's hard for me to be here for me. So thank you.
Beautiful.
Thanks. Thank you for tonight.